Everyone. Welcome back to another special episode with Gage. We're still talking about the vision funnel and wanted to talk about the results of strategic planning, your vision. We did I think, toot our own horn a little bit, a pretty good job of laying out what the vision funnel is. And if you look at it, it seems pretty straightforward. Like a lot of things, especially in the accounting space. you know, debits on the left, credits on the right. You lay out a graphic, picture's worth 1,000 words. It seems pretty straightforward. But Guy, is that, does from what you've seen, a firm going through visioning or going through strategic planning, does it always go the way that they want?
Oh, sure, all the time, perfectly. Yeah, I don't know that anything has ever gone the way it's been planned out. Now, whether it's a little two-hour tax return engagement or something major like strategic planning for a firm. I think what you mentioned, the funnel. I think what I like about that funnel more than anything is it really is a guide for leaders to know what they need to be about. There are several points in that whole funnel, particularly as it moves from level to level, where there can be missteps, dropped balls, delays, and then the normal things like life and procrastination and vacations. And before you know it, you look up and it's 2 months before we're going to go into strategic planning again, and we haven't done anything. And so I think it's really good for the leaders to be able to use that as kind of their roadmap. How do I lead our firm through this process? We identified it, we talked about it, we got excited about it, we're interested in moving. And besides that, we had a good time as well. But in the end, we got to have something to show for it, and not just something that can be crammed in the last, couple of months of a whole period.
So, Guy, you've probably seen similar to what we've seen over the years. Even if you're following a pretty, structured or strict planning and visioning process, there's really two ends of the spectrum coming out of it. One is, maybe a little bit of a overwhelmed or not having a lot of excitement, just feeling more overwhelmed, and where does this go, and does it just sit on a shelf type of feeling. And then we also see a lot of rah and excitement around it. But like you said, in a lot of cases, in both instances, there's a great chance that it can just sit, and people aren't always aligned. And then, like you said, human nature sets in. We're busy and procrastination, and before you know it, it's a month before our next one. And what do we have to show for it? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that you could leave rah, or you could leave just kind of meh, that went okay, but still end up at the same result where we haven't really accomplished much in the last year? Why is that?
Yeah, whenever you want something. Whenever you want to have something changed, and people like change, they like the idea of change, they just don't want anything to be different. And it sounds counterintuitive, but that's really kind of our human attempt. We want the ideal, we want the perfect, we want the thing that's really going to turn us loose. But now if you start asking me to change in order to get there, well, now you're meddling. Now you're getting into my. Now you're going overboard. Leave me alone. I can do it myself. And so that's where I think whether you're kind of come out of it pessimistic and like nothing's ever going to happen, it never does. It isn't going to happen anything, and nothing's going to happen different this time. To the excitement that you mentioned, and I've seen it both ways, as you have as well. The most important thing, as I said, is for leaders to lead the people through the funnel. And everything has a reason for being, all the way up to and including hiring interns. That is directly related to our vision. And if it's not, then my question would be, why are you doing it?
I completely agree. And Michael, does that sound familiar with regard to, it does. When we talk vision, when you're talking a 3 to 5 year vision and then annual strategic planning to update and make progress toward that vision and setting quarterly goals and tactics and having champions in charge of different areas of that plan, what we see is the champions of each of those areas and levels of that vision funnel and ultimately leadership at the firm determine whether or not that vision is executed. And it's never going to be perfect. Let's all be honest about it. It's never going to be perfect, but how well we execute and how well we create that future firm, leadership is a key component of that. And so from our perspective, that's why we think it's important not only to have the vision funnel, but also to have some coaching around leadership and having buy-in from those champions and those leaders to actually execute it.
Yeah, and I think that does a good job of summarizing it to both of you. I think what we wanted to lay out in presenting the vision funnel was to show a methodology that leaders can follow, that the firm can follow to ultimately improve success, change, have alignment all around it. If you look at this and you're sitting there in your firm or as a leader and you are in the category of, you look back at your strategic plans and you're like, I don't know how well they're doing, or the energy just doesn't seem to go, you think there's gaps. I hope you hear from us. We want to hear from you. We want to help. That's where we can kind of help, be potentially a new voice or take you through the vision funnel and see where the gap is. So hopefully this, it sparks some intrigue and some, reminder of goals that you want to achieve. And, by all means, please reach out to us to hear more about it. So thanks, everybody.